Greetings and welcome to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. You're looking at a DTNo.1 smartwatch. It's actually been around here for a while. We're finally getting to review it before the end of the year. It has a bunch of QR codes on here that you can scan to download the Tethering app, I presume, or information from it. An interesting packaging, which we'll get into in a minute once I tell you a little bit more about this watch. The DT08 is a touchscreen sports smartwatch. It's got HRV, heart rate variability detection, IP67 waterproof. You can get it from the AliExpress store. Check the show notes for a buying link on that. Also, you can pick it up through our partners at Banggood. We're partnering together with these guys as well, and also look at the show notes for a buying link and a variety of colors that you can buy it in. In terms of overall specs for this one, this is a long-lasting 20-day standby smartwatch. It's, again, the DT08. It uses the H+ Tethering app, which is the great one. That's a really good app when you see that one. Way better than the Fundu app and all of the features it can provide. A lot of different languages supported. You got heart rate, blood pressure, blood oxygen. We're not sure on that one. Sleep monitoring, multi-sport modes, and so forth. It has a compass in it, according to this one as well. And, of course, pedometer, calendar, sedentary reminders, and all the standard things. A 1.3-inch 240 by 240 TFT display, 350 milliamp hour battery, and like they say, standby about 20 days, use time about 10, and 2 hours of charging time. The band is TPU, and that's pretty much it. So let's get into this. It was taped down, so I had to get that off. And then you got this strange way that the plastic cover there actually slides into two slots on it. And you got to get that loose first. Then you got to get the cover protector out. Then you can see the band is kind of sandwiched inside of a paper. It's not the best packaging, but it gets us by, I guess. Okay, really thick, breathable band. This is the biggest holes I think I've ever seen on a band before. And because of that, it's really loose and flimsy. Okay, I would be a little concerned because the holes are so close to the edge that this could rip or tear if you got caught on something. But you do have these bands, and it's shipping with a set of extra bands as well. So maybe they anticipate that happening. I don't know. This one, the holes are a little bit closer together. And obviously, it's a removable band product. So this is definitely more the sport band for really activity and breathing. And this is, I guess, a dressy band. Has the DTNo.1 name on the clasp on this one, but not on the other one. That's interesting. What else have we got? A magnetic connection to a remover pin and the pins themselves, and a tool to take them out, it looks like. They are somehow embedded, I guess, right there. So you're going to need the tool to do compression to release the bands, which definitely are custom made for this device. But you do get an extra set of bands that come with it. And we have the charging connector, which we're going to need to charge this up. So let's open it up. Take a look. Here we go. A 2-pin connector, magnetic coupled. Wow, okay. There, kind of a little fussy getting it just right, perhaps because of the metal back on it. Magnets don't work too well with metal, but it is a little plastic surrounder there. There's a couple of points on here that line up with the holes there. I don't think you can get it backward. Oh my gosh, look at that. You can get it backwards? That's not good. Okay, and here. So, because of that, it looks like they had to put an instruction on here that says, please note the direction of the charger. So with the buttons on the left, you want the wire to come off the same way as the buttons. That's a definite drawback. It's not good when electricity can be connected either way. So I got a couple things I'm not happy about. The packaging, the holes in the band, the magnetic coupler that could go either way and doesn't really fit well. And we haven't even gotten into it yet. But that's okay. I'm just being honest with you. Here's a manual inside. The Smartwatch User's Manual. And here we go. We're going to page through the English version of this. Shows you the QR code that you can download. Or, of course, you can go to the show notes down below and you can download from there the H Plus app. Another page or two. These are graphic oriented, showing you the icons that you're going to see on the watch on the different screens. Looks like it's got temperature in it and pressure. So it's going to be a nice outdoors watch for those of you that like to do hiking and such. An FAQ and warranty, and I believe that's it. Yep, and now we're into other languages. And we got the bands already on it. All we need to do is charge it up. So I'll be back when it's all ready for us to turn on. Bottom button turns it on. And I got to tell you, the Buttonology is really confusing on this one. Here we are at the opening watch face. This button cycles you through all of the different options, and then these relate to that. So let's walk through them all once and then come back. We're going to have a section on step count, an overall health area, a unique PPG plus HRV, that's heart rate variability section. Then you've got your messages pushed from your phone. A compass is available. A monitoring section, which will drop us into temperature. You have barometer, you have altitude, you have an overall exercise section, and then you have the watch faces that you can switch between. And finally, settings as well. So a lot of stuff in here. Now we came back and it loops. But if you want to get back to the watch face, well, you either wait for it to time out or you press the bottom button and you're back here. So let's begin. We go into step count, hit the top button. You've got your current step count, but that's it. You hit the bottom button, and it's going to take you back out of it. But if you hit the top button and the next button, you can cycle through the screens. Really easy, right? Makes total sense, right? Back out of here to steps. Here we go to health. To get into that, we press here. Now it's supposedly measuring heart rate with the green diode in here. I'm not going to take all the time for us to do the measurements because that's just what we always do. Okay, it's getting something right now. If I press that, it'll take us back. But if I press the center button, it should take us to the next measurement, which is blood pressure. Wow, that was fast. All right, and one more time takes us to last night's sleep time. So you have heart rate, blood pressure, last night's sleep time, and back one level so that we can go to the next one, which is this PPG plus HRV. Tap this and it says do not move in measurement. It's showing what looks like a heart wave on here, but you can see if I touch it, it actually does change. Well, that's different. Okay, maybe it is trying to do a bit of an ECG type of a thing. I'm getting a countdown in seconds on here. Okay, wow, all sorts of different stuff happening. I'll have to come back and play with that one a bit more because there's no plates on the back for ECG, but it is doing something when you touch it or when you cover it. All right, anyway, that would take us back out of here, and we'll go to the next one, which is your messages, and pressing here would take you in there to show you your messages if you had any. The compass, we get into here. You can turn it to calibrate it as you usually do if it needs it. And when it comes back, there you go. I'm sitting in the north, which is pretty close. Should be about 180, but I may be a little bit off here. This does nothing when you're in that mode, but this will take us back a level. After compass, we go to monitoring. Press here. It's showing all of this stuff in metrics, so I'm not sure if you can change it in the app to English or not. Whoops, got out of it all. But you do have your temperature, and you come back and you go to the next one, and you have your barometer. This is barometric pressure in kPAs. Come back out of that, go over here, and now you're looking at your altitude, which is reference to where you are if you zero it. And one of the things I could do here is reset it, I believe, pressing that button. Okay, that reset it. So now its measurement is, darn. Okay, let's get over there. I tell you, keeping these straight is crazy. Altitude there, and it just was 0. So now from here I can go up or down and get a reference on the distance that I traveled. So it's not giving you absolute height over sea level, which is what I was getting at. So after altitude, you get into exercise, which gives you walking and running and climbing, cycling, treadmill, basketball, badminton, football, walking again. When you activate these, oh my God, I'm going to guess this one. Okay, there we go. We're getting something. We've got time, step count, distance traveled, calories burned, and your overall heart rate. So it's based on pedometer. There's no GPS in this one. To exit it, we probably, oh, this is the next page. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. And that looks like laps. There, 1 lap. Okay, that's your lap count. And most likely this is how we exit it. Pause. Now we can save or discard. And I'm going to discard, pressing there. Then I'm going to come back a level. Oh no, that's going to start us again. Okay, we're going to exit this, and we're going to discard it. There, and now I'm going to come back out of exercise. Got that? Did you follow all that? Good. Next thing is the watch faces, of which I can cycle through them. I don't know. There's more watch faces. We'll just leave it at that. This is just too darn confusing. After watch faces, we had settings. And go into settings, and now you can turn on and off vibration. You can change the brightness. 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 different levels of brightness. We'll leave it on the brightest. And back out of here. And reset the watch. Or get some about information for tethering and whatnot, or loop again to vibration. So we're back to settings, and then it comes back to steps and goes through them all again, and pressing that will take us back to the overall watch face. All right, so let's take a look at the app now. It's the H+ app. I have it installed. I've gone ahead and tethered these things before and got some results here for you. There's overall basic step count. Last night's sleep time, if I were to sleep with it, would be listed here. And you remember we did some heart rate stuff. There's that. We did a little blood pressure reading directly from the watch. It got transferred over. And then there's this thing. This is the heart rate variability. Now, while it's on this screen, I want to show you again how we did that. I came over here, past steps and health, and got into the PPG+HRV, right? And we activated that, and it turns the green diode on. Now, what's going on? I cover the diode, and we have that pulsing, that green light shining into my finger, and the capillaries blood flow is reflecting that green light back to a diode, and the diode is reading the tiny change in brightness, and that's the difference between the peaks and troughs here. That's kind of the science behind it. What you're seeing in this test is not so much the peaks and valleys, because you just calculate that distance over time, and that gives you your heart rate. What this is actually doing is the tiny little differences between those peaks. Okay, that's the variability that's in your heart rate. And based on that heart rate variability, you'll get information that can tell you about your stress level and all kinds of stuff. And that's what we just calculated here, and you see in this chart. Now, there's a lot of wild factors going on there with actual numbers, and if you research that stuff, you can probably figure out what it means. this is one of the few devices that will give you that core data. In addition, when this gets transferred over to the app, you'll see it here. Now this is kind of a summary. It's showing your HRV level. It says it's normal at 38. There's this other factor that's normal. I'm high on my MSI, and I'm normal on my blood pressure. So you have 3 different colors, I guess, it could appear on this, and that's the chart. And then when you come back, it starts it over again. Or you come back and look at your last measurements, and if they're out of kilter, it'll be in red like that. So over here are those different numbers, and this is the chart. HRV and heart rate, I presume, heart rate and heart rate variability. And all of that is on that last tab in this particular app. So those are the things there. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, here's your basic where you set up all of your parameters for the band to work. And then when you get into the band, you can change some of these things. Like, for example, units from metric to imperial. I was hoping that would change on here the temperature to Fahrenheit and altitude to feet, but it doesn't do that. Those factors, you remember we got to those when we went way down in here and went to monitoring, for example. That stays in centigrade and meters and all of that stuff. And of course, we have the twist your wrist to see the time function that you can toggle on or off. And when you do that, it's pretty responsive. It comes up like right away. You can set all day heart rate, and you can have it notify you if you have incoming calls, and then all these other factors you can do as well. So that's it. This is called the DT08. It's got the real nice carbon fiber simulated, I guess, body. 3 buttons that are tricky, but you can figure them out. A metal back, and the green diode for doing all of our calculations. You can pick this thing up directly from Banggood. They're one of our sponsors for it. Check the show notes for the buying price and a coupon discount, or go on over to AliExpress, again, have a link for you, and pick this thing up directly from the DTNo.1 official store. Woo! Remember, you get an extra band with it that has different hole technology in it, so you can choose which one works best for you in whatever situation you want. You've been watching us here at Smartwatch Ticks, and we really appreciate your subscription and being here with us, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.